If you're planning to import or distribute medical devices in Canada, there's a license you need to know about before you can do any of that legally. It's called the MDEL, the Medical Device Establishment License, and it's one of the first things Health Canada will look for. A lot of companies entering the Canadian market focus on the product license, and they don't actually realize that the establishment license is a separate requirement entirely. And missing it can mean delays at customs, it could result in enforcement action, or worse. Here's where things tend to get a little bit confusing. There are actually two licenses in Canada's medical device framework. The MDEL, which is the medical device license, covers the device itself, and the MDEL or MDEL, which covers your business and its activities. They're distinct, they have different requirements, and many companies need both. We work with a lot of international manufacturers who come to us after hitting a wall at customs or getting a request from Health Canada through enforcement, and they weren't prepared for that. In most cases, the issue traces back to one of those two licenses not being in place. I'm Andrew Parshad, founder of Quality Smart Solutions. Since 2007, we've helped thousands of brands and manufacturers navigate Health Canada compliance, including the full medical device licensing process. So let me walk you through the MDEL, what it is, who needs it, and what the process actually looks like. So the MDEL is a license issued by Health Canada that authorizes your establishment to perform specific activities with medical devices in Canada. That includes manufacturing Class 1 devices and importing or distributing devices of any class. That's Class 1 to 4. And here's an important distinction we get asked about constantly. The MDL is about the product. The MDEL is about your business. If you're a foreign manufacturer shipping Class 3 medical devices into Canada, you need an MDL for the device. But your Canadian importer also needs an MDEL to legally bring those devices across the border. Generally, if you manufacture Class 1 medical devices or if you import or distribute medical devices of any class in Canada, you need an MDEL. There are some exemptions, for example, healthcare facilities, purchasing devices for internal use, or retailers selling directly to individual consumers. But for most companies involved in the supply chain, this license is mandatory. Before you even submit, you need to have a few key procedures in place. Health Canada expects you to have a system for handling complaints, a process for managing recalls, a way to report serious issues, and solid distribution records. These aren't just boxes to check, they're the foundation of what Health Canada will look at when it reviews your application and potentially inspects your facility. Once you're ready, you complete the MDEL application form, prepare your supporting documentation, and submit your full package to Health Canada. One thing that trips up a lot of applicants is applying under the wrong entity. For example, applying under the contract manufacturer's name instead of the company that appears on the device label. That's a major miss. Health Canada may reject the application if the roles aren't represented accurately. Processing typically takes up to 120 calendar days, though it can be faster if your application is complete and well organized. Health Canada may come back with clarifications or requests for additional information along the way. So being responsive matters, and make sure you do it quickly. On the cost side, the total investment for an MDEL generally falls between $12,000 to $19,000 when you factor in Health Canada's examination fees, application and preparation, and classification confirmation. Small businesses may qualify for a reduced fee, so it's worth reviewing Health Canada's eligibility criteria before you submit. Getting your MDEL is not a one-time step. The license needs to be renewed annually, and the deadline is April 1st each year. Health Canada can also conduct an on-site inspection at any time to verify that your compliance procedures are functioning as documented. So keeping your records organized and your procedures up to date isn't optional. It's an ongoing commitment. So to bring it all together, the MDEL is a mandatory license for any business manufacturing Class 1 medical devices or importing and distributing devices of any class in Canada. It's separate from the product license. It requires documented compliance procedures before you apply. Processing takes up to 120 days and it needs to be renewed every year. Getting this right from the start saves you significant time and costs down the road. If you're entering the Canadian medical device market and you're not sure which licenses apply to your situation, that's exactly the kind of assessment we do. We help you determine what's required, we prepare your application, and stay compliant long after approval. You can reach out to us at qualitysmartsolutions.com or use the link in the description to get in touch directly. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.